What is up, everybody? Roman here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to announce that we are starting a new series on our channel here where we're going to be going through and drafting from each spot in 10-team format and 12-team format. My goal is to be posting 2 videos daily, one for the 10-team and one for the 12-team format, to help you build the best team possible, talk about what draft strategy you should apply, and just overall get an idea of what the drafts are looking like this year. So we're going to start off with a 10-team format, then we're going to do 12-team, and kind of going back and forth, just posting these videos, again, hopefully to benefit you and as well benefit myself. The draft is coming up very soon. My personal draft is going to be on August 22nd, so it's coming up, and the NFL season overall is in less than a month away. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. Excited to be watching some Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night football. It's been a long time. It's long overdue. So with that being said, we're going to be going through and drafting and building the best team possible for each spot. I'm going to be doing the 101 right now, and then we're going to be going through and doing the other positions. I'm using fantasypros.com. I personally prefer their website over Sleeper and ESPN when it comes to mock drafts. They composite all the ADPs from all these websites, and you draft against the actual ADP rather than on Sleeper. I've done this mock draft on Sleeper, and the teams that I've built are absolutely stacked, and I don't think they're accurate at all to what's going to happen in real life. I've had teams where I had Bijan, Omari and Hampton, Chase Brown on the same roster. Like, that's not going to happen in real life. Those guys are going much earlier, but again, Sleeper, that's how it drafts. So I'm going to be using this website. If you're interested in trying this out yourself, it's going to be linked down below. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just really like their tool here for drafting and stuff like that. So with that being said, we're going to start at the 101, and you're currently looking at our board and you see that they have Jamar Chase and Puka Nacua over Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. This is because this is for full PPR. That is what we're drafting for. Full PPR, one quarterback, no premiums, no super flex, nothing, just standard vanilla, what most people are playing in fantasy. So with that being said, we're not choosing Jamar Chase or Puka Nacua here. We're going to be choosing between Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs at the 101. It really is up to you who you prefer. In my eyes, they're both super identical. One is in a better offense, but I think one has better opportunities, and that is going to be Bijan Robinson. And that is the player that I'm taking here. I know that Jahmyr Gibbs has the better offense, but I think that Bijan Robinson has better opportunities in terms of being more productive. Tyler Algier was really holding him back last year, but now that Tyler Algier is gone, I don't think Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be eating into his touchdown production. I think he's going to excel. So I'm really excited for Bijan Robinson, what he can do. I like Bijan, but again, if you prefer Jahmyr Gibbs, it's up to you. It's really what you prefer. Looking at the board so far, pretty standard on who comes off the board. And see, right here is what I mean. We have Chase Brown and Omari and Hampton both already off the board, which is accurate to what's actually going to be happening. On Sleeper, on ESPN, that does not happen. They come off much later. You can get them here on the turn, which is not accurate. So that's why I like this format. Enough glazing the format, but just so you guys take that into consideration. So looking at who is available, we will want to take a wide receiver here. I think it's going to be super important to secure our wide receiver 1. And the player that sticks out like a sore thumb is going to be A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown, compared to everybody else in this list, is just far better. He's going to be getting the volume. He's with Drake May, really good offense, tough schedule, but overall, I still think he's going to be super productive. The volume is what matters, and he's really competing with Kayshon Boutte and Romeo Doubs, and I don't think those are too big of competition there. So I like A.J. Brown this year. I think he's going to be super productive and a really good wide receiver 1. And this is the point in the draft where you can choose what you're trying to do. So you can either secure yourself a second wide receiver 1 in a player like Nico Collins, George Pickens, or Rashee Rice, or you can get yourself one of the last remaining elite running backs, because if we scroll down, these running backs that are here are not going to be available later. They're going to be off the board. They're going to come off in these 2 rounds, and you're going to be choosing between weaker running backs that are much, much later in the draft. So we have a player like Kenneth Walker who's available here. I will say Kenneth Walker probably is going to come off much earlier. I don't know maybe he'd be earlier than Derrick Henry, but I really like Derrick Henry more than Kenneth Walker, so it's not that crazy to say that he would be here. This could be pretty accurate. I don't really like Jeremiah Love, don't like Josh Jacobs, with Kenneth Walker being available. Again, I'm not crazy high on Kenneth Walker this year, but him as my running back 2 is something I'm not opposed to, so I'm going to take him here as our running back 2 option. And again, ignore the ads. the website has ads on it, but I'm trying my best to kind of remove them. Looking through who comes off next, we have George Pickens, and as you can see, we have the run of running backs. We have Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Kyron, Javonte, and Cam Scatterbo both come off the board. We have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson come off the board as well, and then pretty much the rest of kind of the better wide receivers are coming off, but there are still two options here that I really, really like in Zay Flowers and Ladd McConkey. We're going to take both of them here without hesitation. If they're available, easily take them. Zay Flowers, super consistent, not like a crazy high ceiling type of wide receiver, even though last year he did have 2 games almost around 30 points per game, which is really solid. So we know his ceiling is around the 25 plus category. He has a safe floor. It's around like the 8 points per game mark. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. You know that he can get at least 8 points, which isn't going to cost you your week. So he's really productive, especially with Lamar, and Lamar should be healthy and back. And I think Zay Flowers has a really good season ahead of him. He got that extension. He's getting paid. They really like him. I like him. We're going to take him here at the 410. And then Ladd McConkey, Mike McDaniel being the head coach there now, most likely going to be running 2 wide receiver sets. So it's going to be either him or Quentin Johnson, but I think Ladd is more talented than Quentin. So I really like the upside with Ladd. He's our wide receiver 3, so if he doesn't hit, it's not the worst thing, but I think he will hit. I think he's going to be super productive. He's a player I'm super high on and a player that I really like this year, and easily a good player to take in the 5th round. So looking at who is available now, again, the website's recommending that we take Joe Burrow, we take a quarterback. I'm really looking for another running back. I think that getting one of the last better running backs is going to be what we want to do. And between DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery, I prefer DeAndre Swift. I think that DeAndre Swift is going to be more productive. I think that the team situation is a lot better. I mean, looking at the Texans, there hasn't really been a running back that has come out of there that is insanely productive. Joe Mixon was kind of the last one before he got injured, but even then, he wasn't this insane productive kind of running back. And David Montgomery definitely is intriguing. But the Texans overall are just a super interesting team. I don't really know how I feel about all of them, if I'm being honest. CJ Stroud has been struggling. They're super defensive minded. They want their defense to win their games, which is why they're super low scoring games. Like if you ever watch them play, they're not really scoring a whole lot of points there. So I prefer DeAndre Swift. I think that goal line touches are far better for him. So we're going to take DeAndre Swift there. And now looking at who else is available, I think we're fine with the running back position. We have 3 really solid running backs. We have 3 solid wide receivers. If you want a Tucker Kraft, I wouldn't really do it if I'm being honest. I'm going to go for a quarterback. I'm going to be trying to target our quarterback. And it's really between Justin Herbert and Jaden Daniels. I don't like Joe Burrow and I don't like Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow, injuries in the past few years aren't really something that I'm looking forward to. I had him last year. He got injured. It ruined my season for a while. So we're not going to take Joe Burrow. I don't want to deal with that. He could be super productive. I won't take that away from him. He could be super productive, but there's no rushing upside. It's all really just relying on throwing the ball, and dealing with injuries recently, it's not for me. So I'm passing up Joe Burrow. Jaden Daniels, I think, is a nice option as well because of the rushing upside, but the injuries scare me a little bit. Dealing with injuries as well. He's a thin player. If you ever see him, I mean, you guys obviously see him, but he's a super skinny guy. So when he runs the ball, it's honestly a lot more scary than it is exciting because one wrong hit and it could be bad. Washington overall is a super interesting team. Not a ton of receiving options there. They're not the worst. You have Terry McLaurin, you have Antonio Williams, Rashad White, Chig now as their tight end as well. Decent, but I really prefer Justin Herbert. I'm going to take Justin here kind of as a stack with Ladd McConkey. I think Justin Herbert's going to have a really good season. I think 7th round is a super fair price for him. He's one of the better quarterbacks, in my opinion. He showed us that he can rush, he can throw the ball. Chargers look like a really, really good team, and he's the one who really runs that team. So I'm going to take Justin Herbert. If you don't like Herbert and you want to take, for example, one of the running backs, like if you wanted a Montgomery as well, or one of these wide receivers, you can take a Trevor Lawrence much later if that is something you prefer. But I really like Herbert. I don't want him to slip away, so I'm going to take him. Now looking at who is available, running back wise, I mean, not really anybody I'm kind of looking forward to. You have Rico Dowdle, Kyle Monangai. Sam Laporta is actually a really good tight end option, and I'm going to take Sam Laporta here with the 8th round. I think that that's a super fair price, in my opinion. You have George Kittle, who is going to be dealing with the injury. He's a bit interesting. Dawson Kincaid, I don't think, is in the same tier as Sam Laporta, so we're going to take Laporta here. You also could take Tucker Kraft, but he's also dealing with the injury. Laporta is healthy and playing. He's in training camps from the latest reports that I've seen, so he's going to be the player that we take. Now we're going to target wide receiver. In all honesty, looking at who is available, Jacoby Myers. I don't like the situation in Jacksonville. 3 wide receivers that are all talented. You're choosing between the 3 of them who's going to be more productive. I'm going to pass on him. Michael Pittman, it's either going to be him or DK Metcalf. But then you have Aaron Rodgers as your QB. DK Metcalf being the solo wide receiver last year wasn't that productive. How productive is Michael Pittman or him going to be now that there's 2 of them? You know, it's more of a up in the air. Wendell Robinson back up to Cardinal Tate. Michael Wilson is a bit of an intriguing option, but again, it's not the best offense. My eyes are on Josh Downs. I'm going to be taking Josh Downs here as our 9th pick. I think Josh Downs has a really good chance to be super productive this year. There's really only 2 wide receivers over there on the Colts. Alec Pierce is dealing with a little ankle injury right now. He's on the PUP list for training camp, and there's a chance that maybe he misses a week or 2 in the beginning of the season. If that's the case, Josh Downs is the wide receiver 1, and even then, after he comes back, there's still a chance that he's super productive. So I like Josh Downs. I think he's a nice upside shot. He's a player that I really like as well, so I think he's not a bad take here in the 9th round. Looking at the 10th round, pretty interesting to see that we have 2 of the first defenses come off the board. And again, at this point in the draft, you're kind of drafting upside shot players. If we look at our team, we're already building our bench here. We have our flex in Ladd McConkey, DeAndre Swift, Josh Downs. So taking a defense isn't really the craziest thing. If you really like a defense, you can take somebody, or you can still keep trying to target kind of upside shots. If you want to take a shot on George Kittle, keep him on your tight end list. You can take another quarterback, even though it doesn't make sense. Or you can take one of these wide receivers. And kind of looking through the players that are available, the only player that really catches my eye is going to be Jayden Reed, and that's who I'm going to take here. I think Jayden Reed has really good opportunity to be the wide receiver 1 over there in Green Bay. He kind of was the wide receiver 1 in the last couple of years, and he got injured last year, but he was on a pretty good stretch, and I think 10th round isn't the worst place to take him. I think he could be pretty solid there, could be super productive, and definitely a player that I like taking the upside shot on. Looking at running backs, I'm just going to take Blake Corum. Again, he's more of an upside shot, potentially becoming the starter there. If Kyron goes down, he should be more involved this year. I think he's going to be pretty decent. And again, looking through, like, just to solidify the quarterback kind of statement, like, if you don't want Herbert at the 7th round, like, look, Trevor Lawrence, Mahomes, Purdy, they're all still available, and they're probably not going to be drafted because all the other teams already have quarterbacks. So looking at who is available, this is where we're going to take our big shot here, and we're going to take Brandon Aubrey. I think that 12th round is not the craziest place to take Brandon Aubrey. I think that Brandon Aubrey is easily the best kicker in the league, and he's going to win you. He's going to win you games. Like, that's what he does. He has a crazy foot. He's really good. We're going to take Brandon Aubrey here. I mean, again, everybody else here is really just upside shots. There's not a ton of players that you're kind of looking for here that are going to be super impactful. A lot of these guys might be on the waiver wire at some point anyway. And then next, we're going to probably take a defense, kind of looking at who is available. Philly's here, the Vikings are here, the Patriots, Jacksonville. The Rams was definitely one of the defenses I was hoping to get, but they come off in the 11th round. Self-explanatory. Really good defense. They're going to be really solid with Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald possibly coming back. I like Philly, though. I think Philly has a really good defense. I think they're going to be really solid this year. I think they're going to be pretty productive as well. So we're going to take the shot on Philly's defense here. We're going to take them as our 13th pick. Again, you see defenses and kickers coming off. People are getting their second quarterback. Patrick Mahomes in the 14th round, I think, is really good as a backup. I think it's really solid. Looking at the quarterbacks, not really anybody we want. We could target Deebo Samuel here. I think Deebo Samuel with the 14th round isn't too bad. He's going to be the wide receiver 2, maybe 1 on the 49ers. Mike Evans does deal with a bit of injury, so I think Deebo Samuel as an upside shot is pretty easy. Ricky Pearsall, season-ending knee surgery. He's not going to be playing, so he's definitely a really nice player to take there. And then again, looking for another upside shot. Running back wise, I don't think there's really a lot of players left that you'd want as your running back. Chig is a really interesting option for tight end. I think he could have a really good season there on Washington. Wide receiver wise, really nothing too crazy either. I think our last pick here, in the 15th round is probably going to be another running back. Kind of looking at our team, we have really good running backs already. Bijan, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Swift, and Blake Corum as a nice little handicap. I mean, looking at who is available, if you want Dalton Kincaid as a second tight end, he's not a bad option in case you're worried about Laporta. Mark Andrews is here as well. Quarterback, these guys are all going to be in the waiver wire anyway, so there's no point of drafting them here. Tyler Algier is really the only guy that catches my eye. I think that he has a really good chance to be pretty productive on the Cardinals. I think he can be a really good option. But overall, looking at our team, I think that it's a pretty solid team that you can build here at the 101. We have Justin Herbert as our quarterback. We have Bijan, Kenneth Walker as our two starters for running back, which is, I mean, that's really solid. A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers as our receivers is really good as well. We have Laporta, who's easily a top 7 tight end in the league right now. Ladd McConkey for our flex. We have Philly. We have the GOAT, Brandon Aubrey, as our kicker. DeAndre Swift as our backup for running back is really good. Again, if you play in double flex, he's probably going to be one of the starters. Josh Downs has really good upside. Jaden Reed has good upside as well. Blake Corum should be 50-50 with Kyron Williams, so I think he'll be pretty productive. Deebo Samuel has really good upside for the 14th round. I think he's a really good player to take. I expect his ADP to shoot up a little bit with Ricky Pearsall being out and him being the wide receiver 2 now on the team. And then Mike Evans deals with injuries as well, so Deebo Samuel is definitely not a bad option. And Tyler Algier, I think, is a really good option as well, just in case they're going to be playing him more than Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love gets injured. I mean, Tyler Algier is a really nice handicap to always have. He's super talented in his own right, so he's a really good player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was picking from the 101 in a 10-team format. As you can see, 10-team, you can build super stacked teams. This is a really good roster, a team that I really like. Hopefully this kind of helps you and benefits you in some sort of way. Next, we're going to be doing the 102 and so on and so forth. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was beneficial, and I will see you guys in the next one.